So how's everything going? Everything's happy. Everything's fun.
Yeah, right now we're just in the process of really writing and trying to get an album out actually now that the EP is done and it's pretty much gone its course. Now the next goal
Yeah.
is writing an album.
It's exciting, huh? That's
hmm
fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
That shit's
it
pretty cool.
it is cool. The only thing though is it can get expensive.
Yes, that is always my brother. That is always the only problem.
Yeah,
Artists should just be funded. There
yeah,
should be like they should just be fucking funded, just like back in the Da Vinci days. Like they should have, you know what I mean? Like
hmm
that's the part that always stops up every good artist. Chugging along, money issue.
yeah,
Like how many bands wouldn't break up if like they're tour like just let's say you don't even have you know band members usually aren't big whiners. Give them a nice air conditioned van and some top level, maybe like a Subway. You know what I mean? You don't even
Hello.
hmm
like go super top level.
Oh
What's
yeah,
up, guys? How are y'all?
Hi. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing real good, man. I'm on a road trip right now to Austin, Texas to go see Florence and the Machine.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Yes, sir. I'm super psyched. How are you guys?
Excellent. Who's opening? Do you know?
Oh man, it's either got to be a local band or an up and coming band because I have the name in my head. I just don't remember it. You know what I'm saying?
It's got to
It's one of
be.
those weird things.
It's got to be something real, like classy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Like it's got to be somebody real because they are. So like they
Yeah.
got a lot of like I don't know. There's just something about them.
Yeah, man. It's I think almost like ethereal kind of way, like very like
Very
pleasant, like
nice.
almost like fairy, like you know. Yeah, man.
I do. I
Well,
totally get you.
we're super psyched to be on here, man. Thank you so much for the chance to be on here. We love your show and we like the work that you do, man. All the content that you put out. It's really exciting stuff actually for our rock community.
Oh, it couldn't make me happier because that's what we're doing it for, man. We just want to push artists. We want this good music to be the music that people are listening to.
Let's go.
You know what
Awesome,
I'm
man.
saying? Let's just fight for it. Let's
Yeah,
get in the
let's do
pit.
it.
You know,
Yeah, man.
I don't
That's
think
what I'm saying.
I just don't I don't think anybody else besides rock and roll people are ready to get in the pit right now. And that's what
Exactly.
we need.
Yeah.
We need people to just be like, no, it's time to have fun and
Yeah.
emote and
Let's
just,
do it. Yeah.
yeah, like just do it. And it's time. It's time.
Exactly, man. I couldn't agree with you more, man. There's just a certain energy that rock music has in contrast to a lot of other stuff. Like it's almost like a primal thing to just nod your head at like some Black Sabbath or something, man. You know, get down with it. Even stuff like funk music, punk music, it's got that thing, but rock really it has it down, man. And whether that's because of the artists that came before us that gave us those classic tracks, or just because of the vibe of it, man. It's almost I think it's the perfect genre. It's crazy stuff. You can go wide range of stuff with just rock.
Like we started doing the big beers thing came from, I was at a Kiss concert in Detroit. And this dude was with his wife, right? It's me and my buddy. And I just finished my beer, right? And he's like, hey, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, you need a beer? And I'm like, yeah, dude. And that
Damn
motherfucker,
right.
that dude went to the thing, walked by him, didn't ask me to help, went there, got 3 like of the big beers. And he just walked, and he just gave it to me. Probably cost him $15 or something. But he just wanted me to be in that moment with him, having fun and laughing. Big beers and cheers, you know? Fucking
That's what it is.
rock and
man.
roll.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, man.
That's
Super
the
cool.
stuff.
Well, yeah, man.
it can
Well, we're
be
just
heavy
excited to be here.
and then emotional. Oh no, you're good. It can be heavy hitting and then actually like exploit your emotions at the same time.
Oh,
It's crazy. Like you could really go from Paradise City to like anything, honestly. Something just like a ballad. It's crazy.
I always say, you know which one I always use, Jason, is Jeremy by Pearl Jam. Like beautiful, and then the lyrics.
Mhm.
Like it's so deep that it almost bothers you to listen to it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so jarring, like school shootings, like brutal. And the video is artistic and brutal. Just like you're saying, emotionally causes you to have a response. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
you'd have to be dead inside if that song doesn't move you in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Truth.
And then the love songs, the ballads.
Yeah.
Those are
Mhm.
absolutely amazing
yeah.
too. Yeah, we've been
Like, oh my God, this, that, the other, you know, but now it's more taking it day by day. But the new stuff that we're writing, it's to me, it sounds more mature and more evolved, but it's got that same, what's the word, like spunk to it, man. Yeah,
it does.
it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and they're great tracks. What track? You know, we should just we did this like a really cool movie. Like there was this huge lead in. I never said Tracing Paces. Jason and Mateo are here, and we're talking about things that they have going on and what have you. And what were we just talking about now? What were we just going to talk about? I had to get that in there.
We were just talking about the new schedules and the new things that we're going to be looking at this year, such as new music, new gigs, videos, tours, the whole shebang, man. We're super excited. Second tour that would be going on if we go this summer.
No kidding.
Yeah, man. The first tour was a whole Texas tour. It was one of the most fun experiences. We all had great times, made some bad decisions, such as this thing right here. This was a terrible decision, but it was one of the more fun ones.
It's excellent. It's excellent because it's a story tattoo.
Exactly. It's got memories.
So it doesn't matter what it is. It could have been just like a fucking jerky line. And you'd be like, but you want to hear the story behind this sumbitch? It's it's worth it. Worth it.
Those $300 would have been good for gas money, though, man.
Well,
I know how much we were panicking.
That's what Jason and I were talking about earlier. See, Jason, it's a way fucking funnier joke if the money didn't hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Truth.
The money's the worst part. It's the only part that slows down an artist, besides a lack of talent. Which we know people who are so talented. That's always the stinker. That's why that should always let that fuel the anger part of the artistic endeavor.
Yeah, and that's what sucks because we'll spend way more than $1,000 on one song, and then not only after that, then you kind of have to playlist it, and that will cost more money. And then also, if you want to take it on a tour, you got to consider the gas money, and we all know that is extremely pricey right now.
Oh man.
So, and then you also got to put out, hey, where am I going to stay at? What am I going to eat for food? It's all just so expensive to really get your music out there.
Yeah. That's why, that's another reason why we wanted to do a show where we could be like, it's like I always said, like we're the indie record store, or we're like the friend, the friend that you had that had a big brother that had a sweet record collection, or like knew a bunch of shit about like older bands and stuff, because it's important for people to have a place to go and listen, especially when COVID was going on and everything. And from talking, there are, the interviews that we have are real. Artists are really real. They're telling the real deal of it. And like, that's something that every artist talks about, is how it's so hard because of the amount of money you got to pay to get your shit out there. And that's not, I don't think that's good for the universe, my brothers.
Yeah,
I think it's cosmically bad.
Yeah, because sorry, do you want to go first, Mateo?
No, my friend, you go right ahead.
Alrighty. So, I was literally talking to our producer, actually, I'd say about a few months ago, about how it was to get your music out there back then, really. Like, you literally just take some weed to a radio show, smoke with them, and then they'd play your song on the radio at like 12. And if it was good, they would just continue it later on. But like now, if you want to get your music out there, you're paying like $500 a month.
That is insane.
Yeah.
True.
It's insane. And that doesn't even mean the track's good, right?
Nope.
No.
Oh, see, and that's the stinker. You can smoke a bowl with someone, but they know in their head whether that's shit or not, because they're like, I'm high and this is pretty good, but when I'm sober, it better still be good. And if it is, You know, yeah. How many
Yeah.
deals do you think were closed over a bowl with a turntable spinning?
You can count that probably.
Can't imagine, man.
Let's
It's
do
crazy
a thing.
stuff, though.
Let's do a thing real quick. I usually do this thing, but there's two of you, so we'll only do two things. We usually do first record, first tape, first CD that you ever purchased with your money. Mateo, you're first. You can either go, I'll give you vinyl or tape. And it
Okay,
doesn't
sounds
matter
good.
what year it was.
Okay. Well, I don't remember what year it was or what year I did it, but I remember. I hope that they're not watching this, but I'm so sorry, Books a Million. But I might have snuck into that store and purchased with fake money, Monopoly money, in fact, a copy of the Sex Pistols record. And that,
Beauty.
yeah, that was my first record, man. But even before that, I remember my dad, when we had the iPods, the little ones with the headphone plug and everything, I would steal it at night and I would listen to a lot of his blues tracks and I'd be like, oh, like this is interesting, man. And then during the day, I'd be like, oh, that's lame. Like I want to listen to like Kesha or something, like something popular. But in my head, I always do. It's like, what am I listening to, man? What is this?
Yeah, but Mateo, you got to understand, man. You just did the Sex Pistols proud because
I
you know
did.
Johnny Rotten be like, "Fuck yeah, you nicked it, you nicked it, you nicked it," and he loves it.
Yeah,
He
man. I
loves
hope
it.
so,
He's like,
man.
"That's what I would have done."
Yeah, I mean, he's the GOAT. There's a reason to do it. Might as well, right?
That's how I got half of my collection of CDs
Exactly. There you go.
on discount.
Oh my God, it's crazy stuff, man. Even after that, it went for a wild shift, man. After I started listening to stuff like Barry White and like a bunch of like disco stuff just to get really into it, man. And I don't know. It's just I keep looking at every record, and it's like, it's the same thing as my guitar. It's like maybe I should stop. And then I take 30 minutes to think about it. It's like, no, there's this next record that I actually really want to buy. Supporting the local bands, even like I bought an Everglades CD. I think the next time that I meet up with the guys, I'm gonna go buy a Dennis Love CD. You know, shout out to all these guys. But it's just even supporting the locals. I like to buy records in general. It's just a fun thing. It's a nice hobby.
Yeah, it's fun. Jason, what do you got? I'll give you tape or vinyl. It's up to you. You can go cassette tape or vinyl with your money and or your abilities.
So I would say probably first tape. I'll do tape.
All right.
So it was a long time ago, and I'd really say it was more of my mother getting it for me at the time. But I would still say it's the first I got was honestly a Queen track. I really my mom, she's always been she used to go to a bunch of concerts back in the 80s. That was really her thing, was rock music and music in general.
Nice.
And she and We Will Rock You really always caught me with the beat. And so that I would say that is honestly the one that really comes to memory and was really the track that I really got first.
Queen was the first band that I ever purchased every album by. Every single one. I couldn't help it. I was like, what's the next track this guy's going to do? Like, I couldn't wait to hear what else he could do because I had never heard a more dynamic voice in my life.
Yeah.
Very true.
It was everywhere. It went from operatic stuff to rock to everything, honestly.
And I was just like, I gotta hear them all. And I don't think they did now obviously some albums are better than others, but like, I don't think they did a bad album. It just some of them didn't have a lot of hits, but that doesn't really mean shit, you know? Yeah. All right. Let's do, Mateo, your first CD. That usually makes it a little bit more modern. We've had some good ones, dude. Some In Sync.
Ooh, that's a good one, man. I don't think that my first CD is really anything special, man. It was because it wasn't like a regular CD. It was like a video of it, but it had the music playing to it, and the video was messed up, so you could only hear the audio. But it was the Chili Peppers at Woodstock, and I remember the only song that was actually not scratched out was them playing Fire. And then I would go back later in and then watch the video of it and be like, wow, damn. I think that's where my love for those guys really started, from just being like, wow.
God, yes.
And then that's until you see the cock and the sock and it kind of goes haywire.
They did not give a shit. Flea was just balls out in that thing. I don't even think he was just schlong out. He was just giving the world all the Flea, the full Flea. He
the full thing,
did you guys see the and give it a watch if you haven't? That Matt and I talked about it for like a whole show or like a whole chunk of the show. That Woodstock '99 performance. They did a whole special about that whole Woodstock '99. It's called Trainwreck, and it just goes to shit. But the actual performances were great. It was what was happening on, by the end of it, kids are burning shit down because they're ripping them off for water and stuff, and they got pissed about it and just started tearing the place apart. But the Chili Peppers had a great performance. A lot of people had great performances at that. Korn, Limp Bizkit, they all were doing great stuff on that. But that's a great documentary. Just if you're like, whoa, that was some weird shit.
Oh yeah,
Jason, CD, what do you got?
I would say my first CD was Journey.
Ooh.
I got the what's it called? I cut out, my bad.
No, you're good.
I got the where's their greatest hits. I got their greatest hits. I would say Separate Ways is probably my favorite song of theirs. And
great one.
I don't know. That one I really was addicted to. And I don't know, Steve, as a singer and as the same vocal type as Steve Perry, I've always really looked up to their music, and that's always been my sort of go-to for singing. So it's always fit me, really.
I get it. I get it now. I know more about your singing now because I was because when I was listening to you, I was like, unique, reminding me of someone doing his own thing. Who is it? Steve Perry. It was Steve Perry. And that's another voice, another rock and roll, lesser than Freddie Mercury, but really not. Kind of like I think Freddie Mercury and the time in which he was creating, they had more freedom to try other things. Journey was a rock band from Jersey. So that's what he did. But man, Open Arms, we were talking about emotional ones. You go through a breakup, you throw in some emotional arms. I dare you to make it through it. I dare you. It's just so brutal. And his voice is amazing. His voice is so good. Oh my God. Great band. Journey. Mm-hmm. I had that too. I had that on CD too. Journey's Greatest Hits. It was I used to play it all the time. Yeah. That, and what was the other tune I really dug by? Lights.
Oh yeah. Lights is good.
That's a good track.
About San Francisco.
Great track.
Mm-hmm.
Great track. Fellas, what do you got coming up next? Oh, what song do you want us to play after the interview?
Jason, you can take that one.
And if you haven't sent it yet, you can just send it to the email when we're done.
Gotcha, man.
We like to throw down a track, right?
You know what I'm going to say, right? You know what I'm going to say, right, Mateo?
No, don't do that one. Give him something new, man. You always gotta do that one.
He said no before you. That's some good bandmates right there.
No, it's because I know which one he's talking about.
I know you do because you're bandmates.
Yeah.
So you're all in each other's heads.
So you're not thinking too late.
I am not. Give it some energy. Let's give some energy.
Let's do feel.
Oh. Let's do feel. I agree.
You like it? All right.
Yeah. That's a dope track.
I'm stoked.
We are feeling the feel.
That's what we're going to do after the interview. Tell everybody, one of you, both of you, where everybody can find your music, listen to your music, buy the music. Just give yourself a nice little promo, You earned
Jason,
it for making kick-ass tracks.
Sure. So our music is essentially available everywhere. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. It's on Apple Music. It pretty much everywhere you look, it will be there. It is always there too.
Excellent. Excellent. And you guys are all at what's the best social media to get a hold of you guys at to listen to them? Do you got one for the band for Tracing Paces?
Yes. Instagram is our best social media platform.
Yep, me too. It's the easiest one. And that's where we all met.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Worked out. Fellas, thanks for calling in. And when the album's done, not only do we want to hear it and play the first single, but then we'll do another interview too.
Ooh, that sounds great, man. We'd be honored.
Have a great time in Texas, Mateo.
You as well, my brother. You have
That's
a good
going
day.
to be a great
safe.
concert.
Thank you so much, my brother. You as well.
Jason, later, buddy.
Sounds good. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
See you, fellas. Thanks a lot.
Later, guys.